So just had a flat tire, and it's like filling up, but I don't know how much it's gonna, I don't know. It's up to 20. We've been here for like half an hour. It's taking a really long time to fill up. I think it's slashed. Driving with my emergency lights on. My tire's flat. I just got out of therapy. It was a really good session, you know, setting my goals. You know, kind of talked about everything I talked about with you guys and more. Pulling out of the parking lot, and I noticed that there's a squishy sound coming out of the car, out of the tire. And I come out and I see my tire's completely flat. So someone comes to help me out, and they say, yeah, there's like a discount tire place nearby. So I put my emergency lights on, and I'm gonna try to get there as safely as I possibly can. Hopefully we make it to the discount tire shop. We're gonna get there in like 2 minutes. First, when I saw the flat tire, I was thinking like, oh man, like I have so much to do today. Gosh, this is so upsetting. When it rains, it pours, blah, blah, blah. But then I was thinking to myself, like, this is part of life. This is what people who are responsible and change their tires do. So this is what I'm gonna do. And like, you know what? I'm gonna have a new set of tires and I won't have to deal with this soon. So, you know, this is a direct result of my own actions. I didn't change my tires earlier because I was cheap, actually, and I was told that I should change my tires, and I didn't do it because I wanted to save money. So now I'm changing my tires. Finally. Here we are, discount tires. In this coat all day. Big blue coat. It's not even mine, it's my brother's. So, brought my car to Discount Tires, and they were like, you know, you took forever to get your tires replaced. And they weren't trying to sell me something. I know, because my tires were in really bad shape. I knew it for a long time. And I knew that I needed to get my tires replaced, but I was always just too cheap to do it. And so they said I was pretty lucky because the steel part of the inside of the tire was like already poking through the tire. So it's all good. Had a good therapy session. Therapy is really good. Anything like massage or therapy, like anything that will help you like ease your anxiety as you're kind of like going through this stuff is really important. I'm gonna go back to my day, and I will see you guys later. Okay, it's 8 a.m. in the morning. I just woke up. I'm gonna clean my place. Gonna clean up my place. I don't know like how much to show you. There's my dance pole. I don't know how much to show you and how much not to show you, but I'm gonna try to show as much as possible. Also, I'm like super busy because like my schedule is just like jam-packed. So yeah, I'm gonna try to show you as much as possible while I'm doing them. But these are my pants. I'm gonna put on my pants, and you know, I've been wearing like kind of like the same thing every day, so at least what I want to do is look good. So I am actually on my way to a party, which is so cool. I think it's really good for me because I've been so focused on like making money. And like, that's important. You know, I'm the only one that can focus on that for me, because if I don't, nobody will. It's important to take some time to relax and rest. And this is basically me doing that. Enjoying myself, making friends, having a social life, so I'm not lonely all the time. I do want to not fall into the trap that I did in DC, which was like being financially unstable and then being around a whole bunch of like all kinds of financially unstable people that were just like all over the place, and like another friend every week that you hang out with, like every day it's like another person that you hang out with. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm in Dallas. Dallas is more stable. People actually live here and they stay here for a long time. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay in Dallas. Want to be my friend? You can be my friend. Probably can't be my friend because I'm not looking for friends. I have like a handful of friends. Count them on one hand, and that's it. That's all. And I think that's important. Foster close relationships that are people that are, you know, there for you. You don't want to be spending more time on relationships after that until you're married, and then you want to spend time on your marriage and your family and your nucleus, because that's what you have for life. Just got here and I'm out. How pretty is Dallas at night? So my friend just messaged me that my friends are waiting, so I'm gonna go. But I did work today. It was like a really easy shift, and honestly, I could get used to this and like get everything that I need to get done. And it's a lot easier than I expected, and it's gonna be fine. I'm feeling a lot more optimistic this week, and I just want to say thank you so much, you guys, for being so supportive of me. You know, people aren't always supportive of this sort of thing, especially me. I feel like people hate me, you know, like people who don't know me hate me, and it's only like a certain weird type of person that ends up liking me. And so you guys are probably weird, but I love you so much. This is so funny. Back in the bathtub with my trusty candle and Dr. Teal bath wash. It's very soothing, and my other stuff. I just had a very emotionally, what's the way to call it? A very emotionally overwhelming meetup with an ex. And it was very emotional. I feel very emotional. And so now I'm headed home. Today is just such a tiring day. I'm so tired emotionally. And all I can think about is money. And, you know, there's some things that there's just gotta be a way to relax myself, because if you can't be relaxed, you can't do anything. You can't even make money. So you need to be relaxed in order to make money, in order to be relaxed. Relaxation begets relaxation, the same way that money begets money. It's a cycle. It's a cycle of money and relaxation. Speaking of which, this morning I got the best massage ever, and that was part of me investing in my relaxation. I just came back from meeting up with an ex, you know, closure and all that stuff, and on the way home I realized that I am probably gonna stay single forever. I know I'm being so like unfiltered right now in front of you guys, and I haven't been before, and I think the reason for that is because before I still kind of felt like I could have like really close romantic relationships that work out, you know, that pan out long term. And so, you know, I don't want to share like everything in my personal close relationships, because that I want that to be the closest thing to me, you know, not YouTube. But one thing I'm realizing is that that's not going to happen for a long time. You know, it's probably going to happen. I'm being too overdramatic, but it's probably not going to happen for a long time. And until that happens, like, the longest and closest relationship I can have is literally my YouTube channel and my writing and, you know, internet stuff. Like, that's the only place where I can consistently express myself to someone, and they're still going to be there. Other than, you know, my family members, I talk to my uncle like almost every day, and he's just incredible. He's an incredible mentor and incredible, like, emotional support. And but yeah, I am probably going to be single for a while, and I can't be sad about that, because until I fix the root cause, that's not going to change. Like, this pattern is going to keep happening where I enter relationships and they don't work out. And the older I get, the more relationships I go through, the more I realize that the root cause is money. It's always not money, but financial stability, like feeling like I can build a financial future. That's popcorn. Popcorn's popping. And it's getting ready. This place is so messy. I know, a bunch of stuff on the floor. It's a cleaner on the floor. All right. Popcorn. All right. I can't decide if I should stay here and mope and be miserable and watch a TV show, or if I should go to the gym. I guess I'll go to the gym, right? I should go to the gym. I want to be like a good example, yeah? Should go to the gym. Maybe I'll go to the gym, and as a reward to myself, I'll come back and watch a TV show. I'm sorry for being such a downer in the past few weeks. So last week we went through my real estate debacles, my quest to find a job to pay off my debt, and now to help with the real estate stuff, along with some of my doctors and dentists and pharmacy visits. And this week I want to start off with two things. First of all, I really appreciate you guys being so encouraging and supportive of me throughout this whole journey to becoming a billionaire. I know that normally when someone says that's their goal, there's always going to be people who are like gonna eye roll. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, right, you're such a loser, yeah right, you're gonna just get over yourself, get a real job. But none of you guys actually did that. In fact, I got so many people who were like, yeah, I'm rooting for you, and a lot of you are wanting to have those goals yourself, and so that was really encouraging. And I feel really grateful for having such a cool group of people on my side watching my videos. So thank you. When I look at my life, the past 28 years, everything that has happened until now, the ups and downs, the depressing lows, the euphoric highs, whether as a kid or a grown up, I noticed one common denominator between everything. The common denominator is money, specifically financial stability. My parents are immigrants who started from scratch when I was a kid. My formative years were basically when my dad was building his business and we didn't have any money. So it was really stressful. Money represents a lot of things. It represents being able to feed yourself, provide food, clothing, shelter for yourself. Basically, Maslow's basic rung on the hierarchy of needs. It represents freedom from an abusive family member or boss, freedom to live the kind of life you want to live, freedom to invest in the body you want and travel where you want, and freedom to make the kind of impact that you want to make. Money motivates vulnerable people to work shitty jobs, become prostitutes, put themselves in dangerous situations, become criminals, and pretty much do things that they would never do if they were already feeling financially stable. Money is a tool. It's not everything, but it sure as hell will get you closer to everything that you want. Anyway, anyone who tells you that that's not true, that money is evil, that there's more important things in life, okay, just look at their lives and how they're surviving. Unless they live on an isolated island in the middle of the ocean, growing their own crops and not having to engage with the economy ever, they're surviving off of money. And if they don't think money is important, chances are the reason they don't worry about money is because somebody else is worrying for them. Somebody is paying their bills, their mortgage, their rent. Maybe they're married to someone who takes care of that. Maybe they're living off of welfare. And by the way, as a realtor, I've seen families that make 6-figure incomes off of welfare alone. Maybe they've got a cushy job that covers their health insurance and lifestyle and all the friends they need from that job, which allows them to feel sheltered from the world's economic instability. Maybe they've actually been financially stable for so long that they forgot what being worried about money feels like. Regardless, a person who's able to be honest about what is paying for their survival will not tell you that you shouldn't worry about money. You should absolutely worry about money. Maybe don't stress about it in a way that is going to backfire and is not productive, but only once you start being honest with yourself where your feeling of security is coming from can you possibly create more of it. So why am I talking about money in a video that's about relationships? Well, unless you're looking for a one-night stand or a short-term fling, if you're looking for a relationship that's long-lasting and secure, you're going to need two people who are emotionally secure to be in that relationship. Feeling secure means feeling like you're not going to suddenly lose everything overnight. It means feeling like your partner is going to be there tomorrow and next year and the year after that. It means that you're going to be able to be there for your partner tomorrow and next year and the year after that. And if you or your partner are people who are busy worrying about when your next paycheck is coming, you don't have the emotional stability to invest in love and a relationship, and because you're too busy surviving and not knowing what's going to happen next. And you're probably going to have a very up and down relationship influenced by your up and down financial situation. So there are some people who will recognize and admit that economic instability is driving all these problems. And there are some people, usually the people that are dependent on their partner for financial stability, who will simply see their partner being mean to them and not understand the cause of that, which is money problems, because they don't recognize money is important because they never needed to. They see their partner as important. They think they are motivated by love and attraction, and they just don't understand or want to admit the root of all of that, the root of their love and attraction. I know it sounds really over the top to say that love and attraction are motivated by money, but when you think about the root of all these problems, it comes from financial stability. So let's take an example of Freddie and Fannie. So Freddie and Fannie are a traditional couple. Freddie is a successful investment banker. He meets Fannie, she's a girl with a rich dad who loves to shop. He's instantly attracted to Fannie. She has a beautiful body, dresses very classy. Her hair and makeup are always done. By the way, people tend to think that beauty is all natural, but when you meet a really beautiful person, chances are they have or have had financial stability at some point that allowed and influenced them to build that kind of appearance. So next time you see a beautiful person out in public, try to find out more about their financial situation, because most of the time they are not from a poor background, and that's why you're not going to see a homeless person who's gorgeous. Beauty is a product of wealth and sustenance. But we have to talk about that in a different video because this video is getting way too long. Anyway, so since Freddie does not recognize money as the thing that attracted him to Fannie, he sees Fannie's intrinsic beauty as isolated from wealth. And Fannie sees the same thing in Freddie. She sees a confident man, she sees an investment banker, he's smart, he can take care of her just like her dad took care of her. And at the end of the day, whether they both care to admit it, both of them are driven on a core level by financial stability. And both of them think they're in love with the other person, but don't recognize that love is merely a byproduct of feeling optimistic and relaxed that you can build a financially stable future with a potential mate. Think about it. Anyway, they get married, they take up the traditional arrangement where Freddie's a breadwinner in charge of family finances and Fannie's a housewife. Fanny loves this arrangement because it means she can keep up her shopping habit and still go to Pilates with the girls and get her makeup, her manicures, and facials every week. And Freddie loves it because he can come home from a busy day at work to a happy, pampered wife who has dinner ready for him. And at some point, the economy takes a downturn and suddenly Freddie loses his job in investment banking. He and Fanny were not being careful with their spending at the time, since they're both romantics that enjoy taking lavish vacations and dining out at fancy restaurants. And neither of them thought to save for a rainy day because neither of them are too worried about money. So Freddie, now unemployed, is suddenly faced with the realization that he has a clock running on the lavish lifestyle they've been living until basically all the money runs out. Meanwhile, Fanny is spending like she always does. She's getting her facials, manicures, Pilates classes, racking up credit card debt. Freddie tells Fanny that she's going to have to stop doing all those things, and Fanny listens. Slowly but surely, Freddie and Fanny cut back on their lifestyle, while Freddie looks for a new job. Freddie becomes angry and irritable. He becomes insecure and jealous, constantly worried that Fanny's going to leave him and find someone else. He's so busy worrying about that, by the way, that he's not focusing as much on finding a new way to make money. Fanny becomes angry and irritable too. She's not pampering herself anymore. She's becoming fatter and plainer looking. She doesn't feel sexy anymore, so she doesn't feel like having sex as much anymore. And slowly but surely the fighting begins. Slowly but surely both of them start to fall out of love. And neither of them are aware enough to recognize the root cause of their problem, which is lack of financial stability. Instead, they both start to see the other person as meh, not as full of butterflies as they were when they first met. The honeymoon phase is over. They tell their parents, we fell out of love and we're gonna get a divorce. So I know this is a really long story for an example, but it's a recurring story I see so many times, and people are so blind to the reality of what is happening that they constantly blame their relationship failures on falling out of love. What does that even mean, out of love? To me, it's just a thing that people say when they don't have the energy or patience to think about the real reason all these problems started. When I think about the people that I fell in love with in the past, the root cause, it was always someone that I could see building a financially stable future with. Either they were already financially stable and they were paying for everything, or they were already on the road to financial stability, or they had, in my opinion, the tools for becoming the financially stable, and they just needed one final puzzle piece to get there. And of course, in the first few years that I started dating, which was kind of late, I started dating late, I always chalked it up to falling in love. And I rarely saw money as a main driver. And when I would fall out of love with someone, it was always due to a feeling of instability. Either I was feeling like I was too focused on the relationship and not enough time on my own money stuff, or I felt like they weren't focused enough on their own stuff. And if anything happened as a result, I'd be the one that would have to pick up the pieces and support the family. So it's all a lot of it is subconscious. So I have a friend who has been married for almost 2 decades to a man who has had a disability that made it difficult for him to work and take care of himself. But she loved him so much, so she supported him for almost 2 decades. And their marriage had problems. He wasn't feeling very respected in the marriage, probably because she was the one making all the money and going out all the time without him. And as soon as he finally got a job after 2 decades, he up and left her without a word about it. And so she's devastated. How could this happen? We loved each other so much. We didn't care about money. But she should have cared about money. If she had cared about money in the beginning of their relationship, she would have chosen a man that was just as financially stable as she was. Or she would have encouraged that guy to go get a job in order to be with her. Maybe she could respect him, he would feel respected, and they wouldn't fall out of love as soon as he started earning a paycheck. Notice how people never admit the root cause of marriage problems, that is usually economic instability. Instead, they always chalk it up to falling out of love, because this weird American mentality that money is so evil that admitting that you or your partner care about money is evil. Personally, I don't feel safe entering a long-term relationship until I'm both financially stable and have had enough time to feel emotionally stable as a result. And the goal is that I've gone to enough therapy, paid for enough therapy, and not choosing the wrong person just because I'm feeling desperate. And when that happens, it's going to have to be with a man who's both financially stable and also has had enough time to feel emotionally stable as a result and choose me for the right reasons. And this sort of thing takes time. And I think most people don't have this kind of attitude towards marriage and relationships. Most people view money as evil, or at least secondary, as a foundational thing, which is why, in my opinion, most marriages nowadays are doomed from the start, because people don't have a survival mentality. One thing I'll say is, I know that you don't want to put your love and family life on hold while you're building your money machine, but if you don't build this very important foundation for yourself right now, before you fall in love and start a family, you're in for a rocky road ahead. You're probably going to blame it on your partner. Your partner is probably going to blame it on you. And you might have even chosen them for the wrong reasons because you're feeling desperate. So I'm comfortable focusing on my money machine for now. If it means I'll be single for a while, or maybe even forever, it'll be sad, but hopefully not. But at least I'll get to focus on my money machine. Even if by the time I'm ready, I'll be old, at least I'll be able to pay for a sperm donor and surrogate. And at least it won't be in a dysfunctional, unstable marriage. And I know, people see that as sad, but a lot of very unhappy married people, and I don't want to be one of those people. Of course, I love hearing your thoughts about it, even if it's a completely opposing view. So let me know, and if you remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And see you guys next week. Hopefully future videos will be happier. This might be the first time I cried, but anyway, see you guys next week.